Hello everyone. Today we will discuss about Geography Chapter 4 Major Landforms. In last chapter you have read about the endogenic forces and the various landforms on the earth's surface are formed by these forces. However, the exogenic forces tend to reduce the elevation of the existing landforms through erosional and depositional activities of river and sea waves. The exogenic forces carry out their work in two ways: weathering and erosion. In weathering process, the breaking up of rocks on the earth's surface and the factors and agents such as heat, cold, frost action, plants, animals and chemical reactions help in weathering. These process does not involve in the movement of broken rock materials. Erosion is the wearing away of the landscape by different agents like water, sea waves, ice and wind. By these processes, the broken rock materials are removed from the place of its origin and deposited elsewhere. Thus, different landforms are formed by the agents of erosion and deposition. During rainfall, some water seeps underground and some of it evaporates and the rest forms small streams, and many small streams join together and form a river. The origination place is called source. After this, the river moves down the slopes in a valley. Generally, the river falls into the sea, oceans or lake. The place where the river joins another water body is called the mouth and are drained by the river, and its tributaries is called river basin. The running water in the river carries out its work in three ways. First, it erodes the rocks over which it flows. Second, it transports the eroded materials. Third, it deposits the materials which it has transported. Due to erosional work of the river, it widening and deepening the river valley, and such valley is called V-shaped valley. In hilly areas, the river moves very swiftly. Thus, erosional and transportation activity is more and no depositional activity take place. When the river tumbles at steep angle over very hard rock or down a steep valley side, it forms a waterfall, and the swift flowing river is called a rapid. Waterfall is used to generate hydroelectricity also. There are thousands of small waterfalls in the world. Jog Falls in Karnataka is one of the highest waterfall in India, and the highest waterfall in world is Salto Angel Falls in Venezuela in South America. The other waterfalls of the world are Niagara Falls in North America and Victoria Falls in Africa. As the river enters the plains, its speed slows down, and due to continual erosional activity, the floors of the river valley gets widens along its banks. The river twists and turns to form large bends and loops. These are called meanders, and river continues its activity of erosion, transports and deposits the sediments. Due to continuous process, the meandering loops become almost circular and very close to each other. During this process, the river cut the strip of land between the two loops and takes a straight course. This circular loop is completely cut off from the main channel and form an oxbow lake. At times, the river overflows its banks, leading to the flooding of the neighboring areas. As it floods, it deposits layers of fine soil and other material called sediments along its banks. This leads to the formation of a flat, fertile floodplain, and the raised banks are called levees. When the water reaches its mouth, it carries a large volume of water and alluvium. The excess load is deposited as sandbars in the wide river channel. As the river approaches the sea, the speed of the flowing water decreases and the river begins to break up into a number of streams called distributaries. The river becomes so slow that it begins to deposit its load. Each distributary forms its own mouth. The collection of sediments from all the mouths form a delta. The delta formed by the Ganga and Brahmaputra rivers is the largest in the world. Sea water performs erosional and depositional work through sea waves. It is also through currents, tides and storms. The erosional and depositional work of sea waves also forms a coastal landforms. Strong sea waves strikes against the coast and cut down the rocks into fragments, so many large and small cracks develop on the rocks. Slowly, after some time, these cracks widens and form large cavities. Due to the continuous action of sea waves, cavities develop into sea caves. On these sea caves, there is a continuous attack on both the sides. A thorough passage is created, and this is called sea arch. When the roof of the sea arch is further eroded, it collapses and the pillars of the rocks are left in the open sea. This is called stacks, and a vertical wall facing the sea is called a sea cliff. and beaches are formed by the deposition of sand, gravel and pebbles on the shore. These are generally formed when the sea is calm and winds are of low velocity. Some famous beaches in India are the Chowpatty and the Juhu beach in Mumbai and the Marina beach in Chennai. When the broken rock materials are deposited on the sea floor near the coast, sandbars are formed, and sometimes the sea water is enclosed between the coast and the sandbars. Then it becomes a partially enclosed lake which is called lagoons. The Chilka Lake in Orissa and the Pulicat Lake along the border of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh are some lagoons of South India. Thank you.